Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that's Connor, and we are going to talk about this week's TV news, which is not a lot this week. It may be one of the shortest news videos we have ever done. But we're also going to sort of give an update on the channel. We tend to use this video as kind of like a weekly wrap-up for the channel, sort of mention what's coming next week and that kind of thing. But no, so as far as new stuff this week goes, we did have Blood Drive, of course, which is the new sci-fi show about cars that run on human blood, and it's like a kind of dystopian, not quite apocalyptic, but kind of semi-post-apocalyptic. It's basically wacky races with lots of violence and like cleavage.
Wacky Races meets Mad Max.
There you go. that bit sums up. With a little bit of RoboCop.
Yeah.
A little tinge of RoboCop. Not the cyborgs necessarily, but just that there's the idea of like the government not being running the cops anymore. It's all privatized with companies and that kind of thing. So that was the thing this week. It's very grindhousey. It was kind of fun. If you heard Vampire Car and went, oh yeah, you're probably going to like it.
Yeah.
If you
get what you expect.
If you heard Vampire Car and went, that sounds stupid, then stay away. That'd be my advice, pretty much.
Yeah.
We also had the season finale of The Handmaid's Tale. That was this week, so season 1 of that's wrapped up. So that was a thing. But no, so that was the sort of the major happenings on the channel this week. Oh, of course, Leftovers did start for the public on YouTube. That's our summer already cancelled. We're going to be working our way through that over the summer. Episode 1 went up. Episode 2 will be up before the end of the week as well. We're doing 2 a week, so that started this week as well if you're into that. So, but no, let's get into what little news we have.
I'm assuming there's so little because it was E3 this weekend or this week, and that kind of dominates a lot of the similar news areas, and they just don't want to compete for space, I think.
Maybe.
I mean, I know there's some sites dedicated to both, either or, but I think there's quite a bit of overlap, so it's easier just to go, do you know what? Let's not compete for the news cycle.
There may be some truth in that. I think, honestly, I think this is a delayed thing because we had we had a couple of weeks like last month where we had like 90-minute shows, like news shows, 2 weeks in a row, because it was so packed with news because of all the upfronts and all the announcements and all the green lights of the pilots and what's coming this fall, blah 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 blah. Typically after that, I expect a few dead weeks, and then it wasn't actually that dead. Like we still had a reasonable little amount. I feel like this is just like this is what we were expecting. It just came a couple of weeks late.
Yeah, it's also possible. We'll see if it picks up next week.
That's fair. That's fair. But maybe that combined with the fact that it was E3 and maybe they didn't want to compete with their own because keep in mind a lot of these game publishers as well will be the same parent company will be running a lot of the other things. So. But no. So first up in the news, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt has been renewed for season 4 by Netflix.
I'm happy. I'm yet to watch season 3 because, well, I'm doing all the TV for this. I don't have time for my own stuff. But
all I heard is I've not watched season 3 yet because of you.
It was implied. I'm looking forward to it. I'm seeing good things.
I don't control what you put on when you lie in bed at night. You could be watching it.
I don't have a TV in bed.
Well, there's your problem. Buy a TV for the bedroom and then we go.
Arguably, that is the problem. But the point stands, damn it. But I'm looking forward to season 4. Either way, I will watch season 3 before season 4 comes out. That is a guarantee.
I've not watched season 3 yet either. Admittedly, I'm not that big in the show like you are. Yeah, I have watched season 1 and 2 because it's one of those things where you can just put it on and Netflix just auto plays the next episode,
and then suddenly you're finished the season.
Yeah. So because I mean it's it's half-hour episodes. It's only 13 I think.
Something like
that. Yeah. So it's easy enough watching, even if I do find a lot of it really silly. Which is why I'm not into it. That said, I think the reason why I actually put it on is because I really like the theme song. So at least
it's a great theme song.
So every 25 minutes or so, I get the theme song again, and that's kind of
it's worth it.
That's the reason. Yeah. So that's what it's there for. All right. Speaking of Netflix, they've been adding some more casts for Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events season 2. They had five cast members: Roger Bart, Lucy Punch, Sarah Rue. But the two that I wanted to mention specifically that are sort of more notable names: Tony Hale, who is Buster from Arrested Development. If you're not familiar with him, he was also in Chuck for a little bit in season 2, I think it was, maybe season 3. But he's there, and then even more notable than that, Nathan Fillion has been added to the cast of season 2.
Okay.
Nathan Fillion.
I mean, I was looking forward to season 2 well enough already because season 1 was pretty good.
Well, when you've already got one Whedon-approved actor in Neil Patrick Harris, what do? You add a second Whedon-approved actor with Nathan Fillion.
That's how you keep it up, isn't it?
Yeah. He made Buffy, by the way, the hit television show.
Didn't take long, did it?
Well, it's a short episode. I had to get it in soon. It wasn't going to happen at all. All right, next up, USA Network has given a pilot order for a new drama called Olive Forever. It comes from Brian Duffield, the screenwriter of Insurgent, and I believe they mean the Divergent.
Yes, I'm sure they do.
Series? Is that what that's? Because you know how Twilight was the Twilight Saga, and then with Divergent, they wanted to have like an overall title.
I don't know if it was a series or a trilogy.
No, it was 4 movies, I think.
Was it 4?
Yeah, so it could have been trilogy.
Right, we'll go with series then.
Because I think it was series because I remember thinking, man, that is really lame. Like they had the first movie Divergent, which was the first book in the series, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one was getting made, and then they went, oh wait, we want to have the name of the first one in the title so they know it's the same series, because people are, or at least they think, people are stupid. So they go, right, so instead of calling it Divergent 2, Insurgent, I don't know if Insurgent was the second one, I'm just going to use that because it's the one that's in front of me. Instead of calling the second one Divergent 2 Insurgent, or Divergent : Insurgent, or, I don't know, they went with the Divergent series : series. Imagine any other franchise doing that. Imagine Lord of the Rings series, The Two Towers.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Star Trek series, Beyond.
I'm pretty sure it was just an awful film anyway. So this, I mean,
It
I'm not
probably
even sure
was
I need
that.
to hear the description for this show to be out. Don't tell me it sounds interesting.
The pilot follows the exploits of Olive, a mysterious high school student who leads a double life as a cat burglar. New to a sleepy town with a criminal underbelly, Olive must navigate the new foster parents, new boyfriends, new gangsters, and new crime opportunities. Honestly, this sounds like something that should be on Freeform, not USA.
I was just gonna say, are you sure this isn't a teen show?
It sounds like a teen show, but maybe
It sounds
USA.
like one.
Maybe USA wants something for earlier than night. They want something before.
I don't know if we're just thinking that because of who's attached, but that description sounds like a teen show.
Yeah, the idea of a high school student with a double life sounds very.
Yeah, talking about new boyfriend, you know.
That's it. Maybe it's got a darker slant on it than
Maybe.
we were expecting. I can't say I'm particularly into it.
No.
This is the other thing. Not only is there very little news this week, there's also not a lot of it that's that interesting either. So feel free to tangent and make fun of things, because it's about the only entertaining thing that's going to happen. Although this next one's not necessarily bad per se or uninteresting. Martin Freeman is producing a show. It's not got a home yet. They're currently looking at both homes in the UK and the US. So it could end up either side of the Atlantic. But he's wanting to do a TV show of Paradise Lost. He could star in it as well, but for the moment he's just producing. So it's based on John Milton's 17th century poem. Of course, if you're not familiar with Paradise Lost, there's not much of an actual plot synopsis. It's just kind of one of the other producers sort of described it. Is that Paradise Lost is like a biblical Game of Thrones, transporting the reader into a world of political intrigue and incredible violence. At stake, the future of mankind. And that's all we've got.
I mean, it sounds pretty good.
I mean, I don't like Game of
Martin
Thrones,
Freeman.
so compared to Game of Thrones, it's kind of a...
All right, to you that's
an
a
eye roll
down,
to me,
but for most people that's a good thing.
Sure. Honestly, I don't think I've got a lot to go on. I mean, they're saying the world's at stake and it's going to be violent, but I really don't get a sense of what are the characters.
I think a lot of it will depend where the home is.
Yeah, I can see, depending on the sort of budget the place can afford, it might either be actual gods or it could just be regular people.
Yeah, and even depending on, like you say, if it's the UK or the US, the tonally very different styles of TV
Yeah.
making.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. And that takes us on to our last news story
Oh
of the
God.
week. I told
I
you
know
it was
you said
short.
there wasn't much, but Jesus.
Um, yeah, and what's worse is this one doesn't even have a description. Like, there's no plot for this one because they're keeping it secret. So
Do
we
you want
don't
to make
even.
one up?
I'll give it a go. Actually, we've got a title.
We're reverse engineering our previous
Yeah.
game.
Irish filmmaker Gerard Barrett has sold his hour-long drama to FX, so FX are making this.
All right, so I'm
Uh,
at least somewhat interested.
it's called Honey. They're keeping they're keeping the plot secret. They just mentioned it's set against the backdrop of the world of corporate espionage.
I really hope it's to do with people owning bees.
The Honey Empire.
Do you know what? I joke, but imagine if that's true.
Oh, I kind of hope so too. I've never seen it, but the title does make me instantly think of a Jessica Alba film. I just know the poster in my head. I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a dancing movie. And our character's name is Honey. That's the extent of my knowledge on it, but just reading the name Honey as a title made me think
We
of that.
really know nothing about this, do we?
We really don't. It mentioned I didn't know who this guy was, the Irish filmmaker, but he was the writer director behind Glassland, which got a lot of awards at the 2014 Sundance Festival. So not
Okay,
so
so there's
has
some pedigree
chops.
there at
Yeah,
least.
has some chops. It specifically mentions the actor picked up the special jury award for acting that year, so presumably that was the biggest thing I got. But so
Yeah.
don't know. Then again, maybe the rest of the film sucked, but the actor was just really good.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, FX, I've come to expect a certain level of quality anyway.
Yeah,
So
typically the FX do good content. It's
they do.
for the most part. That's not to say that everything they put out is great, but
No, but more hits than misses as of late.
well, I guess that takes us on to picking our favourite episode.
That was really quick. Yeah,
That was insanely quick.
yeah.
3 weeks ago, we had a 100-minute episode of this.
Do you know what the problem with this one is? There's not even enough news to tangent off.
Yeah, there was nothing to like. That last one didn't give us a description. The USA Network one was just something we flat out aren't, which is fine. We sometimes have those, obviously, but they're usually mixed in with things that are interesting. So it's just whatever. We move on to the next one that sounds cool. And while Paradise Lost has a bit more potential, it's also very vague. There's not a lot to go on either.
Yeah, it's so early days that we've got nothing to actually base it off.
I'll be honest, I might have not even put that story in here on a regular week because it was so vague. But I saw how little I had and went,
It's going in.
well, we need it.
Yeah. I said, we'll go do the news now, and he goes, I'll just go check if there's anything else happened. Now, sometimes he does say that anyway, just because it's been a while since he's done it. But
Yeah, because
in my mind, it's been half an hour since he did it. He's like, I really hope there's something else popped up.
sometimes I'll do it maybe like 8 hours before we record it. So it's usually worth checking to see if anything else popped up, any last minute things happened before we go to record. Because there's nothing more annoying if you go to record and then check the news and go, oh, this big thing just happened after we recorded, and then you look at the time and go, oh no, shit, it was actually there before we recorded, we just didn't check. But no, in this case, yes, I was hoping there was more, because that's it. I have no idea what I'm putting in the image for this.
Just Martin Freeman's face.
It may have to be us. It may have to just be a picture of us in the image.
It's a scary thought.
Let's talk about something else so I can use an image.
What do you want to talk about?
Pick
Who you
anything.
No, you're the one picking the image. What do you want? You pick your image, and we'll say something about it.
I'll tell you what I really want. Our fellow mailed fuzzer, who's on the Screams After Midnight horror movie review show, Tim, he's a big fan of goats, and he went to, I think it was goat yoga,
Yeah, I saw this.
while he was visiting his family back home this week.
It looks stupid and ridiculous and amazing.
And there's a picture of him on all fours with a goat standing on his back. I really want to use that.
I think we should use it. We've talked about it as much as we have any of the actual news, so why not?
I want to use that. God. I'm not going to. That said, next Screams episode we record, that image is making an appearance. I'm pulling it up.
It's deserved.
I'm going to make him explain, and I'm going to make fun of him for an extended period of time. It's going to be a hoot.
I shall be checking that out.
So you can look forward to, what movie will that be? I think that'll be The Mist, because we're doing The Mist in time for the new show starting, which is soon. So check out the Mist review when that goes up, so that you can see me making fun of Tim for his goat shenanigans.
And I guess that leads us to tell us what else is coming soon.
Yeah. Well, we usually pick our favourite episode of the week before we do what's coming next week.
I mean, we had a nice segue there. I thought we'll make the most of it.
I know. Not that we have to be, slaves to the rules, but there's a format. There's an established format. We should stick to it. All right. Yeah, favourite episode of TV this week. Oofed.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to go with Handmaid's Tale. Twin Peaks was phenomenal, but Handmaid's Tale really culminated a season's worth of story. It deserves it.
It did. I think I'll say Handmaid's Tale definitely had the best scene of the week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight anyone on that.
Lots of great TV this week, though. Yeah. Saul was great. Twin Peaks was great.
Fargo was
great. Yeah. Blood Drive was pretty great for what it was. I mean, it's not up there with the others.
Yeah, it doesn't stand up with those other shows, but yeah, it was for what it was. It was a hoot. Yeah. But I'll give it to Handmaid. Twin Peaks has got 12 more episodes that it can win best, and it probably will win best of the week for 12 more weeks. So
yeah, because there's not much else on, is there?
Yeah. Well, that leads us to what's happening next week. We've got some finales coming. Both Better Call Saul. In fact, no, there's 3 shows ending before next news. American Gods is ending this week. It's got its season finale. Better Call Saul's got its season finale. And Fargo's got its season finale. We're about to lose all of our TV shows that we review every week because they're all ending. It's funny how quickly it changes, because just last month we had to put shows on hiatus, which we're still not gotten back to. We're hoping to get to them now since stuff is ending.
I just at the start we went over what was new this week. Was Winona up since the last news? I think it might have been.
Technically it was, but it was the same night, so it blurs in the head.
But we hadn't watched it when we recorded the last news. So
that is true. Yes.
Just realised.
Okay, so technically season 2 of Winona Earp started this week too. That's fair.
It was a full week ago now.
Yeah, it feels weird saying that when we'll be doing episode 2.
Yeah.
But whatever. So there you go. That's what's coming up in the next week. So it's a busy week for finales. We do also have a Preacher. Season 2 starts next Sunday, which again is kind of weird to say because that'll be after the next news. But I'll give you a warning that it's coming the end of next week. Yeah. But that's what's coming. Anything else you'd like to talk about? You said you were going to be making dinner after this. What are you having for dinner?
It's already cooking. I've been using the slow cooker. I've been doing some pork chops in the slow cooker. I'm going to go do some mashed potato with it. It's going to be pretty good.
Lovely.
Yeah, excited.
Do you know what really terrifies me though? That this is the first video someone's clicked on in this channel. And they're getting us killing time with mashed potato and pork chops.
Go back to like 3 weeks. Even last week was like 50 minutes.
Yeah, there was 1 week that was like 25. The 2 after that, the last 2 were both about 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah, and if you really want to go for it, go one of the 90 minutes or 100-minute ones.
Yeah. Those were packed. Because that was the thing. We had that 90-minute one, and I thought, that'll not be topped.
And then it got topped the following week.
Then next week it was more. Because on top of all the upfront stuff and all the sort of the orders, they were also throwing things just out of nowhere. Judge Dredd's becoming a show.
Yeah.
They were just throwing like things at us like that. But here we are. So that wraps up, I guess, this week's news. We actually stretched that to about 20 minutes, so that's nice.
Somehow.
So thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you think of any of this week's news. If you
have anything worth saying about any of it.
In the comments below, like, subscribe, all that stuff helps us out. You can also help us out, of course, by going over to patreon.com/MildFuzzTV and see some of the bonuses over there if you want to support the channel. But otherwise, guys, get us on Twitter at @mail_fuzz for channel updates. And that's us. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Sorry for the sorry for the tangents, because that's all we had. Because I was almost tempted, you know. I looked at how little we had, and I was almost tempted. Do we just say we're skipping a week because there's no news? And I thought,
Feels wrong, doesn't
it feels wrong, but it also is like, yeah, but people might not know. They'll just think it's missing. They'll think.
And where else would we announce all these shows are ending next week?
Exactly. Because. But there you go. Like, at the very least, we have to put something out saying, yeah, there's no news this week. Admittedly,
this is a very roundabout way of saying it, but yeah, there wasn't really any.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like a show being renewed. You know, Kimmy Schmidt was renewed, and that's a bit of news. But in a regular news video, that's the quick bullet point at the start before we get to the meat. Whereas this week, that was probably the biggest.
Probably was
the biggest thing. Here we are. So thank you very much for watching, guys, once again, and we'll see you next time. Have you got any vanilla?